This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So I started the session recording. So good morning once again to all of you. I hope you're all doing well in different parts of the country, going through the challenges. And yesterday I saw the quiz, answers. It was quite encouraging. I could see a lot of you felt more than career building. You felt a good number of you felt positive, and you all felt a sense of belongingness, which was in fact the primary reason why we started the session yesterday, right? In fact, we can share the slides, you can go through the content, but the important message was to give you a positive vibe, right? So thank you very much for all your feedback. So yesterday I did spend some amount of time in basically evaluating the quiz answers. I consider various parameters, including the correct answers and also the timeline. So more than timeline, I checked the last answer, which is also subjective, right? I checked that, and I picked 8 winners from yesterday's quiz. So let me go and announce them one by one, right? So winners for the quiz, yesterday's quiz, the names and photos goes as follows. So Akshay Kumar PH is a winner, one of the winners. Then we have KVV Satish Kumar, and we have P Ajay Kumar, and Parag is our another winner. Rita Paliwal is another winner from yesterday's quiz. And we have Shabas. I think he just typed the message also. Shashank Jamadagni. And we have Haji Wali, SK Haji Wali, right? So these are all the 8 winners from yesterday's quiz. So let us take a minute and congratulate all of them. Okay, I don't know, all of them are joined today. Okay, most of you might have been. Okay, so congratulations to all the winners, right? So our team will be collecting your postal address also. Once things become better, we will be sending you some, goodies, so that you also feel motivated, right? So thank you very much. I could see a lot of better answers also. So end of the day, I cannot pick all. I need to select the better ones, right? The ones who did not answered well, and some of the answers were very close. Who cannot get the winner yesterday, please try today also. Today also I have a quiz. In fact, every day we'll be running the quiz, right? So let us send some more congratulations message. Let us get it going. I could see Lakshmi congratulating. I could see Makesh, Sanket, Siraj, Nikhil, Preetham, right? Okay, yeah, Kishan is sending. All right, so congratulations to all the winners. Okay, so people who did not make it, I would expect you to perform, or let us compete more positively today. Okay, I have a quiz for today also in the same manner, right? So let us go ahead for the today's topic. As you know, today is workshop number 2. This is about how to build an excellent resume for an entry-level embedded systems or IoT engineer, right? And again, this is one of the key challenge. Yesterday we saw the big picture, career, what are all the opportunities available, etc. But once you understand that, the next important thing is how do I write a resume, right? That is where many of you guys face challenges. We'll go through that. This is a workshop number 2, and I remain the same. I hope all of you understand my introduction, which I gave yesterday. I don't think there's need to repeat it today also. And I'm part of Emergy, and you know why we are doing that, right? Majority of them are participated yesterday, right? So what is the agenda we have for today? I will start with a topic. In fact, I will make you guys speak, or rather you guys interact about how not to write a resume, right? Rather than teaching you how to write a resume. In fact, there's a quote, I don't know, I think it's Leonardo da Vinci or something, how to create a masterpiece. So he said, anything that is not masterpiece, you take it out, then it will become a masterpiece, right? So in the same way, we'll understand how not to write. If you avoid doing that, naturally you will end up creating an excellent resume. And a very important thing is understand this concept of your resume is your brand, right? So many of them will be writing resumes just before going for the interview, or there is a urgent situation that shows up for which they need to end up writing. So you need to understand that your resume is your brand. Let us try to get into some discussions around this, why your resume is your brand. Then we have some templates which we created in Imerzi, mainly for the embedded and IoT based skill set. I will walk you through that. Those templates, I'll also share links from where you can download them. You can download those templates and make use of it. Okay. Links also I'll share you, and question and answer. As you all know, yesterday itself, right? We didn't do it in the last. We can keep doing. You can keep typing in the window. I'll pass in between, and then we'll answer your questions, right? And as I already told, let me repeat the same. Yeah, I can run the slides. That's not the goal, but the goal is to ensure that you guys understand. So any questions, any doubts, keep typing in the chat window. I'll stop in between and answer and keep moving. I hope that method is fine with all of you. All right. So with that, let us get started. Okay. Let us try to understand how not to write a resume, right? Okay. So I will just quickly move on to my Google Docs, just to get your views, because I'm going to type or write your guys, right? First of all, let us understand why you need to write resume. Okay. What is the reason we need to write a resume? Can you get some answers in the chat window? Why we need to write a resume? Why do you need to write a resume? Can I get some answers? To showcase your skills, right? Very good. Ronak says to showcase skills. To market ourselves. Very good. To show who we are, our qualifications. Resume tell to know about ourselves. Very good. To show our skills on standards. Very good. A lot of answers coming in. Let the interviewer know about me. I think Ronak is telling, to showcase the skills, to let the interviewer know about me, right? To know what we are, right? To show who and what we are, where I come from. Okay. Eligibility. And very important, Sunita is bringing out a point here, okay, to show the uniqueness about us, right? Okay, yeah. Lakshmi says resume is all about what we are. And I would say the number one reason you need to understand is that, okay, how unique or how different you are, right? Okay. This is, I would say, is a very important. Yeah, Shashank also telling the same, to know how different we are from others. Because imagine for a time being, right? There are about 100 people in the room now. I think 71 as of now, right? If I look into 71 resumes, right? Okay, I get confused. Assume I'm going to shortlist your resume, right? Okay, if all the 71 resumes are looking the same, I'll really go crazy, right? And I need a lot of time to shortlist. Let us say even for one resume, I spend 5 minutes of time. I need to spend about 350 minutes, which is roughly about 6 hours, right? I need to spend. I don't have that much time. But how uniquely you can showcase and market yourself, okay? Other important thing that I think is not coming out, which I wanted to share, is that, right? Okay, how quickly basically you can impress the panel, or it's not only about how unique you are, how quickly you can get. Okay, so that is also a very important thing. So these are all the main reasons, right, which almost all of you called out the right answers. Some of you are putting your own words, right? Sanket says to know our zone. Absolutely correct, right? So these are all the reasons. Okay, yeah. Your resume is our brand to the recruiters, Gokul says, which is also very important. That's what we are going to talk in the next one. So this is very important, right, to why we are writing the resume, right? So let us try to understand what information we need to present in our resume. Okay, so let me ask the next question. What information should be present in your resume? That's the next question. Can I get some answers for this? What and all should be there? Your skills. Very good. Skills. Special qualities. Saujanya says special qualities are achievements, for that matter. Achievements. If you have any experience, you need to have that. Okay. Qualifications. qualifications. Okay. Let me just format it better. Yeah. Okay. Skills required by communications, awards, right? Any achievements, awards are done. Then first one, most important thing is objective. Okay. Any certification that I got, very good. Any certifications I got, strength and weakness. Okay. Qualification, very good. Okay, very good. Skills and projects we're talking about, right? Okay. Personal information, Lakshmi is telling. Okay. Any extra courses I taken? Extra courses, certifications, technical skills. Okay, Sunita is telling. Implant training. Okay, trainings, technical proficiency. Lot of answers. Yeah, thanks, guys. Okay, so let us look into this one by one, right? Suppose if I look into workshops, right? Okay, so if you look into this particular set of information which you guys have shared, right? Publications, very good. Arsha is bringing publications. Okay. If you look at these type of sections which you're calling about, right? Let us go one by one and then understand it a little bit in more in detail, right? Okay. The first one is objective. Okay. So typically, objective is a section where basically you are going to call out what is your goal, right? Why you are writing this resume. Okay. Here I have I was going through probably a few thousands of resumes so far, right? So what I see majority of the cases, especially the fresh people, right? Fresh engineers when you are looking for your first job, right? So you don't spend time in thinking about your objective. So how do we end up doing, end up writing objective? First of all, I see the easiest way is to copy from a friend or a colleague, right? Your friend has written, sir, I know this is what I want to achieve. You just copy from a friend or a colleague, right? It becomes your objective. And some of them are finding it little difficult. I don't know how my friend has written. So what the other easiest way to do is go on Google, search in Google, right? Sample objectives for a fresher. Okay. In fact, I have a one unique case where I remember two students sent their resume to me, and one student copied from other student. In fact, they even had their father and mother also, mother's name also same, right? They even copy pasted father mother name. You know, I told don't create problem in your family, right? Okay. So that's how we end up doing, right? We copy paste or we do a Google sample objective as a fresher. We write that, right? My first and foremost suggestion is please don't do both the things, right? Okay. Please don't do either copy from a friend or basically sample objective of a fresher. Don't Google it, right? Spend at least 10 minutes. Okay. And why I'm telling this spending time, you have all the time in the earth nowadays, right? You are sitting at home and you have a lot of time and you have access to internet, etc. Right? So spend time and think. Okay. I don't know how many of you really think, right? Okay. What am I really want to achieve? Okay, so you think this question, right? What I really want to achieve. Okay, so that will give you a clear-cut idea about how to write an objective, and that objective can be written in a very simple manner. For example, people can write, "I want to become a successful IoT engineer and want to make my company also successful." Right. So when you're writing this objective, also think. Okay, another point for you think is right. Think is how am I going to make the company successful? Of course, you know, it's both of them need to be succeeding together. Okay, the question you need to ask is, okay, what am I really want to achieve? Then in that process, how can I make the company also successful? If you answer these two questions, right, I will just mark these things as not to do. So this is not the way you need to be writing, copying, pasting from friend, right? Rather, I would put things in green, which you should be doing, right? So what is the idea? You need to see to it that what is that you want to achieve and how you can make the company successful, right? You can write like this, one, okay? Then second one is about qualification. See, qualification, I would say for people to mention the highest qualification in the top, right? Suppose somebody is doing an MTech, mention in that in the MTech as the first thing somebody is doing, and then if you are doing a BTech or BE, mention that, followed by your class 12 or diploma, and followed by class 10. Okay. Here, one very important thing which I see people end up doing mistake is that people tend to apply, especially your sorry. Two information is very important. One is your year of pass out, when you have started a particular course and when you have ended that particular course. And other important thing is what is your percentage, right? Percentage or your CGPA, right? So please ensure that this information is mentioned accurate. For example, if some student says, sir, I am 64.9 percentage, this is my engineering percentage, right? Please don't mention it as, right, for example, 65%, right? This is not something you should be doing. Please don't apply any approximation algorithms here. This is absolutely not okay. If it is 64.9, mention it as a 64.9 only, right? So this is very important. Please don't apply any approximation algorithms here, one part, right? Second thing is, right, of course, here Vritti is asking for university. Yes, you can mention your university or your college. More than college name, I would say mention your university name, because these days college names are very long. I hear college names like, for example, RG, VY, PC, Engineering College, right? This also has become sometimes very cumbersome in our resumes, right? So rather you mention your university name, like for example, whether it could be Anna University or JNTU or VTU or any university that that you are part of, right? Punjab University, whatever it could be, right? So you can mention like that, right? So this is very important that you need to. And another critical point is, please don't hide your year of pass out. Many people yesterday, a lot of questions were there about sir, I am from a 2016 pass out, or I am a 2017 pass out, right? Just because you already passed out about 2 to 3 years back, you don't need to hide that particular information, right? One of the other important thing we need to understand is, whatever information that people are asking about, you need to be transparent about it. So mention that particular thing, right? Now comes to the most important part called technical skills, right? So in the technical skills, when I see at least the fresher people technical skills, right? How do they write, right? Can I get some examples? What would you write in a technical skills today to apply for an embedded system engineer position? Can you get some examples in the chat? The technical skills, C, Python, okay. Okay, protocols, C, C++, Linux, okay, tools. So I see people writing something like this, right? People write something like this, C, okay, and what they mention it as a basic. Okay? So indirectly, what they're telling you ask only my loops, only Fibonacci series. Don't ask about anything about pointers, right? So don't do this, right? One part. Second thing is, some of them will write C++ or Python or any other language that you are writing, right? And I even seen a case where some of them written, somebody copied from a friend, one guy copied from friend. So he, instead of writing like this, he's written a language like this, C++++, right? Probably we need to go and innovate some language like this, right? So please don't copy something like this, right? This is not absolutely not okay, right? So important thing is, as I already told you yesterday, right? You need to learn one programming language very well, right? You don't need to. In fact, that was one of the questions yesterday in the quiz also. People think that I need to mention 10 programming languages, right? That is absolutely not required. For an embedded system engineer, if you know one language, that is C, that is more than enough. If you know C++, that is good as C++ or Python, which is, both of them are object-oriented programming languages, right? So if you know them, it's better. But I would say the C is where the real meat of the story lies, right? If you know really pointer programming, optimization, memory management, right? So this is our understanding various segments, storage classes, dynamic memory allocation. These are all the topics important for an embedded engineer, not, for example, a for loop or a while loop, printing Fibonacci series, printing triangle, which is what probably you by heart in your college. That is not going to help. You just spend in-depth time. I don't know how many of you checked yesterday, right? Anyways, I'll share the slides also shortly via your email list, which you already have. Okay, you can just click and understand the depth in which we cover our C programming, right? The C programming takes anywhere about 300 hours to spend, right? So you need to typically spend that much amount of time and get that, right? And other thing I see in people's resume is that, for example, people mention something like this, right? People say, followed by that, just a second. Okay, I see people write something like this: Windows, and in Windows also, people, some of them will write Windows, Windows XP, okay, Windows 10, right? And some of them will even write MS Office, right? And some of them will write MS Excel, okay? And I was telling, right, Windows, again, somebody will write paintbrush, okay? Some of them will write MS PPT, etc., right? Okay. So please note, this is absolutely not okay. Okay, today, I don't know, many of you will have young students, means I'm talking about school students, your nephews and niece, or somebody around your family, right? When you look at today, right, a fourth standard or a fifth standard student knows more about this, right? Okay, I have a fifth standard studying girl. She's going to sixth standard now. Okay, when I sat with her to teach her computer science exam, right, I could see these topics are learned in much more detail. Okay, in fact, they have much more options in Windows, Microsoft Office than what even I do today, right? So mentioning about your anything things about, for example, Windows or Windows MS Excel is absolutely not okay, because it is not relevant to embedded system at all, and these skills are something known by everybody. In fact, one of you already called about saying that what type of basically differentiation you can bring in, right? Just by writing an MS Office, you are not going to differentiate. Yes, what is that you need to mentioning is that what are all the embedded hardware that you worked on. For example, if you worked on Arduino hardware, right, or you worked on some PIC board, or you worked on Raspberry Pi, right? So when I work in the hardware, I end up using certain tools, right? What you call the Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, right? So here you can mention, for example, whatever the compilers that you have used. For example, if you are using a PIC, right, you can use the PIC compiler you might have used, right? Or you would have used something like, for example, an Arduino IDE, right? Arduino IDE, right? You would have used some debugger, for example, the GDB, the GNU debugger, right? Any key compiler that you might have used, right? Cross compilers, okay? Or Python IDE, right? Python IDE. So this is something which is interesting for the interviewer, not, for example, writing about Windows, MS Office, etc. Right? This is important. And another important thing you need to be very clear. I will also repeat it n number of times as we move forward. Is that if you are not confident about anything, right? I think there is already a question here. Okay, about C language. Should we need to mention intermediate or basic, or you need to mention C language, right? I would say you mention C language, right? Because C language classifying into basic, intermediate, and advanced, it is not your responsibility. Let the interviewer decide, right? Okay. So you need to be very precise. And if you're not confident of any skill, suppose you say, I studied C++, sir, but I forgot, or I'm not confident about that, you can remove. Okay. Because only when you are confident you can put it, right? Often what is our understanding is the more I put in my resume, and then I'll try to impress the interviewer. Okay, please note, your interviewer is not asking about whether you know 10 things, right? He or she is going to, sorry, he or she is going to check with you, whether you know 2 things. You say I know C, right, or C++, you know very well, right? Whenever you go and say I use this Arduino, right, can you answer it correctly, right? So please always note that the interviewer is going to check with you about the 2 or 3 skills, and those 2 or 3 skills you need to be very thorough. It's not about putting 10 things and not able to answer everything. So please be very careful in these representing these skill sets, right? Okay, one part. Second thing is, okay, second important thing that often we need to be paying very good attention is about the projects, right? Projects again is a very interesting topic, right? So whenever we talk about college projects. I talk with whenever you are in final year, you are supposed to do the project, right? And you go and discuss with your guide or your professor, right? And he will say, okay, make a IEEE project, or some IoT project, or some artificial intelligence project, or machine learning project, all latest topic, you will come up with. Okay, I see all sort of crazy topics when you look into the project titles. Something like artificial intelligence applied in the domain of agriculture to solve the problem, or some low pass filter sent into high pass filter, blah blah blah. Right? Highly technically complex topics. If somebody looks into a project title itself, they will get fainted. Right? And how these majority of the college projects are executed. Right? What happens in your college project? There is a shop, right? Okay, who gives you the package, right? Majority of the projects you go and buy from a project shop, and then you put in your resume. So he gives the necessary hardware, software, right? And then he also gives a PPT to go and present. And if you go and tell your college name and department name, he has got the ready-made project ready, right? Okay. So quite some time back, I was talking with one of the students. I asked him, why you are doing like this? Why don't you build your final year project on your own, right? He said, no, sir, 3 years for enjoyment and final year is for more enjoyment. What your professors scold you if you do, if you go and buy a project from a shop, right? Then his reply was very amusing. He said, my professor only told me which shop to buy from, right? Okay. So that is the scenario that we have built in our final year projects, right? We just go and buy some project and show, and if you see your project smart, the project smarts will look good, right? Okay. So please note, this is absolutely not okay, because you are applying for an embedded system engineer. You are supposed to work on it, right? You are supposed to demonstrate something on it, right? In case if you purchase the project, that is fine, because your college is done and you are looking forward for a career now. Please start working on some projects. Sunita says about mini projects. Yes, mini projects, hobby projects, it can be any project, because projects are the main testimony that you know something, right? Okay, for example, whatever you written in the skill set, what is the proof that you know these skills, right? It is mainly because you have done these projects. Okay, so I can come and tell, I know Chinese, or I know German, or I know any other language, right? Okay, can I speak in that? Can I write in that? That's the next thing, right? Similarly, when you come and tell me, sir, I know C programming and Arduino, right? What is the proof, right? That way I can write any technology in my technical skills section. So what is the proof that indeed I know the technical skills, right? That is nothing but projects. Okay. So if you ask me, guys, okay, these two are the only important section in your resume. Okay, because your academics are done, you're not going to change many things, right? Okay, exactly. Saujanya says projects are the main platform that to show our knowledge, sir. Yes, I completely agree with you, Saujanya. That's the main thing, right? I don't know, many of you, many of the students don't pay attention to it, but I would say these two are the most important thing, right? Because your academics are done, and objective is just to showcase who you are, right? That because why I'm stressing this again and again, because many of the resumes I see, it's a 2-page resume. Okay, 95% of the information which is mentioned in the resume is of no use to the interviewer, right? Okay, they just mentioned for the namesake. Somebody told you to put this information, so please, you just dump it and show, right? That's not idea. So very important that you need to showcase projects. In our template, I'll show you how to represent the project, right? Okay. So let us move on. Some special qualities, achievements, awards, trainings, workshop, publications, right? So okay, that is a next set of section that we move on to, right? Here also, if you look at, right, I see very mundane things written. For example, attended a workshop, okay, on robotics, okay, and that robotics also, which robot you are talking about? Line follower robot, okay, line follower robot. And when did we start building this line follower robot? Okay, during Tipu Sultan time, okay, Tipu Sultan times, okay, before even the British came, right? From then on, these workshops are going on. Okay, I don't know what we are learning from these workshops, right? Okay, again, if somebody even write, if not robotics, people will write something like, IoT workshop, 2 days of IoT workshop. What you learn in that? Absolutely nothing. Similarly, people will write something like this, right? Attended a tech fest, okay, tech fest in some other college, okay. Why many guys are interested to attend tech fest in other college, we all know, because I also been a college student, right? Okay, people will go and attend the tech fest in other college. Okay, guys can understand why people do that. Okay, majority of the love stories start in the tech fest, right? Okay, attending that, it is not a challenge, achievement. That is not something which you achieve, right? Other important thing people I end up doing is something like, for example, I attended 1 week of implant training in BSNL. Okay, or I would say, some electricity board. For example, if you are from Bangalore, you say BESCOM, Bangalore Electricity Board, and then, or if you're from a Tamil Nadu, you say I'm from a Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, etc. Right? Or in the worst case, you will also say something like the local or some industry, XYZ industry, right? Okay. Everybody knows what happens here, right? Typically, your uncle or some relative will be working BSNL. You go and tell them you want to attend a 1 week of implant training. They say, okay, you come over. You go in the morning, sit in the canteen, drink coffee, drink tea, read newspaper. Do that for 1 more week, right? And in the last day when you are coming, right? I'll come to that, Shabas, extracurricular activities. I'll come to that, right? So you do that and come back, right? So please note, these type of things are not something to be called out as achievements or something very special, right? Okay, so please do not mention any of these things. And some of you may be worried, sir, only thing I have done this only, sir, what should I do? Okay, I would say you remove the section. Okay, you don't need to put it just for the namesake, right? Okay, in the same, in that case, I'll show you some examples, right? What can qualify as an achievement, or what can qualify as something where you've done something, so where you accomplished something. I'll show you some examples, right? Okay, in the similar, extra courses and certification can be something, where you've done something in Udemy, or you obtain some certification by really putting some effort, then it makes sense, right? And similarly, for example, you talk about hobbies, right? In hobbies also, I have the same problem, right? For example, what I see generally in hobby section, reading books, okay, listening to music, okay, and third one would be what? Surfing internet, okay, because many of us don't know the difference between a hobby and a time pass. Okay, so I don't know, let me call it here, hobbies versus time pass or pastime, right? Okay, so please note, majority of them get confused with, if for example you are browsing an internet, or you are chatting in your social media, right? That is more of a time pass, it's not a hobby. Okay, people who are really following hobbies, right, they know what I'm talking about, right? Hobbies are as serious as what you are pursuing in your career, right? For example, so somebody may be good in doing something like pencil sketching, right? Pencil sketching. Okay, somebody may be doing that, or somebody might have been an athletic person, right? He may be a runner, right? Or he may be doing a cycling activity, or he's a biker, right? So these things are called hobbies, right? Reading books, or even if you say reading books, for example, you have to be very specific, because you can read anything. Yeah, playing badminton, or you've done something in badminton or cricket, those things you can mention. Even reading books also, if you are really passionate, be very specific. For example, am I reading a fiction, or am I reading a non-fiction, right? Okay, who is my favorite? Because somebody may ask you, right? Can you tell me what do you read, right? Which books you read in the last 3 months, right? You should not be showing your toothpaste advertisement there. Sorry, I just put because my friend has put in my resume, right? Don't do that, right? Okay, so yeah, swimming is so please ensure that whatever you are really doing, that you can put that. And again, some of you may not have some serious hobby. What is mentioned here, yeah, Pratibha, cooking, it's a good example. Somebody may be, in fact, some of my students, especially girl students, they've been great Bharatanatyam dancers, okay, and then they represented their state or district at India level, right? You can put that. Okay, Kishan says, if it is okay if you remove hobby section, absolutely fine, Kishan. Not only hobbies, even for that matter, your special qualities and achievements. Okay, this also, if you do not have something very significant, you can remove it, because as far as the embedded, imagine, right, you are going to attend a position of an embedded system or an IoT engineer, right? How does it matter to the interviewer, especially the technical panel? Maybe these type of questions may be helpful for the HR interview, but as far as the technical interviews are concerned, these sections are of no use, right? Whether you attended a BSNL implant training, or you are surfing the internet, or whether even if you are doing your own hobbies, right? These things does not matter at all for the technical panel member, right? But it only matters, if at all it matters, to the HR personnel, right? Okay, so if you are something, cricket, etc. is there, yeah, if you are If something not, very serious about this, you can ignore, right? As I told you, I've seen many students who are getting great jobs only by mentioning these two sections: technical skills and projects, enough, with some basic information, academics, objective, email ID, and phone number. That's it, right? I've seen people getting into great jobs because I've seen very vanilla students. He said, "Sir, I've been a very simple guy. Yeah, I never had any great hobbies or achievements. Whatever I have done. This is what I am. And please don't try to act yourself, right? Whatever you are beautiful. Just go and represent yourself in the resume, and you don't need to mimic, or you don't need to act as if you are somebody else, right? Whatever naturally you are, that's the way you are. Can you come and change yourself, right? You cannot change. That's what it is, right? Okay. So please keep this in mind. So let us move on, right? Strength and weakness. Yeah, you can mention what you're, again, think over it. Okay, what you're really good at and what you look yourself can be an area of improvement, right? Now coming to experience, right? I would suggest for people, because a lot of questions yesterday, there were many of them asked, like, I'm a 2016 pass out, I'm a 2017 pass out, right? Experience also, I would say you can put in your resume only if, okay, it is 6 months or above, okay? Whether it is related to embedded, it is not related to embedded, that doesn't matter, right? Only if you have 6 months experience, then you can put. Otherwise, you can. Freshers, you don't need to put, Vishnu, okay? You don't need to absolutely remove that experience section itself, right? Okay. So I could see if we have questions here. Saujanya says, my strength is my happiness. Great, you can put that, okay? Lakshmi says, as in project session, it is necessary to write about project, or it is enough to mention about in the title. So Lakshmi, please give me some time in the template that I am going to show, right? Okay. I will be mentioning how to represent a project. In the template, I'll explain. Okay. If you give me a few minutes, I'll move on to the template. Okay. And last but not the least, this is a very interesting section called personal information, right? In personal information, I see people mentioning all sort of information, right? Okay. For example, I see people placing like this. For example, can you tell what you will mention in personal information? Can you get some examples? Okay, in the window. Personal information. Yeah. So I say father's name, then father's occupation, mother's name, mother's occupation, then you say date of birth. Okay, date of birth. Okay, marital status. Okay, you can say single and looking. Okay. Okay. Then you have gender. Very important question. Many of them have confusion in gender. Okay. Male or female, you need to mention. Okay. Nationality, passport number, passport number. Then somebody will say Aadhaar number. Then somebody will say license number, driving license number. Okay. Somebody will write PAN number. Okay. Then somebody will say, sir, ration card number. Okay. Then you will write a temporary address, permanent address. Then you will say blood group. Then you will say what else is there, guys? Tell me, some more information. Temporary address, permanent address. Yeah, contact number. Okay. Contact number also people mention it like this. Contact number. Okay, Airtel, Jio, Vodafone. Because we have 3 numbers, no? Okay, we mention all the numbers here. Okay. And then, yeah, Facebook ID. Okay, social media profiles. Okay, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, dual SIM not. Okay, Instagram. Okay. Okay, and finally, yeah, LinkedIn. And finally, okay, you put references. Okay, whom do you put the references as? You will put your references as your BSNL uncle. Okay, your uncle who gave you your internship. Okay, and the professor, one professor with which you are very close, right? Okay, so languages, read, write, speak, right? You can put that. Okay. Languages, yeah, HODs, right? Read, write, speak. Okay. And not only that, finally you make one declaration. Am I right? I don't know how many we also put saying that finally declaration. Okay, saying that whatever I mentioned above is true. There's nothing about the if anything is not true, you can come and file a legal case against me. Blah 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 blah. Okay, guys, let us grow. Okay, all the information that you mentioned here in your personal information, it is absolutely rubbish. It is not required. Okay, let me just, so only information they need today is one email ID, okay, then one phone number, not see it, Vodafone number, HOD, this one, sorry, Airtel number, Geo number and all. So all this information, okay, whichever you are talking about, okay, for God's sake, don't put. Okay, these things are not at all required. Okay, then it was some time back, right, when the emails were not there, when the digital internet was not there, right, and you used to send this what do you say, your data resume or your CV via somebody else, right? Okay, so during those days, this personal information made a lot of sense, right? Okay, so if you look at in today's world, right, companies don't require this information in the beginning itself. Yes, they need, for example, they need to know your blood group. Okay, why they need to know your blood group? Suppose there's an emergency, they need to be in a position to help you, right? They want to know your permanent address, same thing. Somebody's in office, they met with a accident, they need to contact their parents, right, or contact their spouse, right? So only during those times you need this permanent address, right? Okay, so this information, whatever I just strike it here, right, this information companies will ask you once they decided to make an offer, right? Any company these days, if you see, they have a big online form that is also made online. There is a form called as employment form. Assuming that they selected you, they're about to give you an offer letter, right? There is a form called employment form. Typically these days, those forms also online. In fact, I know many companies who even have given mobile applications to the students. They say, okay, please fill the form and upload all the documents from the mobile app itself, right? It has become that simple. Okay? So all this information about your father's name, father's occupation, blood group, and then marital status or gender, etc., etc., it is not required to be put in your resume at all, right? Okay, so if you already have it, you can remove this. Okay, even short-term goals, long-term goals, suddenly are not required in resume. You can communicate when actually you are facing your interviews, right? So this is how I would say the resume. So in summary, if you look at, right, okay, maybe I am when you look into this particular section, majority of you think, sir, what is this? 95% of my resume you are just removing, right? Only 5% you are keeping. That way my resume will become one paragraph now. Okay, there's nothing else for me to mention. Okay, the idea of me telling this to ensure to give you a call out the fact that what is important, right? What the companies look for. They don't look for your blood group. They don't look for your mobile number. They look for the skills and projects, right? That is where your focus should be. Okay, so this is something where I see how not to write a resume, right? Now that we are done with this, let us go ahead and understand how to build a resume, or what are the important aspects that you need to. So when you guys understand this much, it becomes little easy for me to cover the other sections little faster also. Okay, so I would like to pause here. Any questions, or how are you finding this so far, guys? Is it fine? Are you able to understand what you're telling? Okay, yeah, Harsha, can you show me a sample resume? Give me some time, I will show you. Okay, Vishnu says thank you, sir. Okay, Akshay says good. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, I guess you are understanding. I will show you a template, and I will also tell you some guidelines about how to fill them. Okay, then you can take some time and then you can fill them. Okay, yeah, Hema says fine, sir. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me get back to this one. I think there is one more question here. Ronak says, any suggestions from where to get standard problem statement to build and work on project based on real world problem statements? So yesterday I shared a link, Ronak, in our resources section. We already have a good number of projects. You can download those projects and do it on your own, right? That is absolutely fine. Okay, so that's a good resource to start with. Okay, Supriya says fine. Saujanya says useful. Bharani says for people having experience, they can mention a reference. It's okay, Bharani. Even if you don't mention in your resume, they will anyways do a background check. Suppose you say, I worked in so-and-so company for 2 years, right? Before they join you, make you join the company, or just after onboarding you, there are a lot of HR agencies are there who do the background verification check. That time they will ask you. In fact, at the time of joining, they may even ask you to fill up your previous employer, who was your supervisor, and how to contact them, etc. They'll take care of that, right? Okay. As I told you, your employment form these days are very detail oriented. Companies will ask you to fill them. That time, all the information they'll collect. Okay. But when you are writing your resume, only you need to focus on your technical skills and projects and some basic information like your objective and academics. That should be more than enough for you to score your merit. Okay, that's it. Okay, so all right, so let me just move on with our slides. So we saw how not to write a resume. If you ask me, a good number of time is spent here only. Okay. So let me just ask you a few questions. I will show you some brands, okay, some logos. You can type in the window what comes to your mind when I tell these logos, right? Flipkart, what comes to your mind? Can I see some responses? Flipkart, online shopping, brand, online shopping, e-commerce, good products, right? These names comes into picture, right? Or you can even think like reliable, yeah, shopping made easier, it's a trend, many things that comes into picture, right? Genuine, very good, right? These are all the some messages you have impression, right? Similarly, what comes to your mind when you say Maggi? Okay, yummy, 2 minutes food, 2 minutes noodle, yummy taste, delicious, right? And easy, right? Look at this. Look at Saranya says, sir, it's very easy. China, my God. Iron content issue, very good. Zinc, okay. So many names comes into picture, okay. Mother, many names comes into picture. Hungry solver, especially if you are in a hostel life, right? I'm sure Maggie would have been the savior for many years for you in hostels, right? That comes as a savior, especially when you're doing a night out and studying in the middle of the night. You cook Maggie and right. So look at this word Tata. What comes to your mind whenever I say the word Tata? Nestle. Okay, Amitabh Bachchan comes into somebody's mind. Okay, what else? Tata. Ratan Tata, very good. Ratan Tata comes to your mind. Cars. Okay, Birla. Okay, car company. Right, God. TCS. Right, many names are. Charity, very good. Gokul says social service, service to the nation, hard work, steel company, old company. Right. Okay, many names are there. Okay, this is how you are all interpreting. So next one is about Xerox. Okay, what comes to your mind? Okay, getting job difficult. Okay, Xerox, getting job difficult. Okay, copy. Yes, in college, our life, right? If Xerox would not have been there, many of you would not have, even myself, would not have cleared engineering, right? Okay, Tata Salt. Okay. Some of you will even say micro Xerox may come into your mixture, right? Saujanya says exam times photocopy, not popular. Okay. So Xerox is another brand, Friends Paper, Print, like many names comes into picture, right? Okay. So, what are we talking about, right? Flipkart, e-commerce, many of you are telling, okay. And Maggie is food, 2 minutes, and Tata many, basically. And Xerox, when I say it's a student life, right? Many things are coming to picture. So what are we talking here, right? We are talking about a brand, okay? A brand which has created some amount of information or some impression in each one of your minds, right? Each of you are telling different answers, right? Okay. But these brands, these logos have established something in your mind so that it is there in your impression, right? Okay, Tata means okay, fine. This is a trustworthy thing, right? When I say Flipkart, wow, it is something which made my shopping easier. Earlier, it was so difficult for me, right? Same thing when I say Maggie, wow, it's helped me in so many times when I was feeling hungry, right? So many things are there. Similarly, please understand your resume is your brand, right? Imagine you're all products, you're all going to sell yourself to the company. How well you can sell yourself, it depends on your resume. So that's why we mean by resume is your brand, right? Okay. So what is a brand? Brand is a name, term, or a design where you are distinguishing one to other. I think one of you told that particular answer when I asked in the beginning, okay, because in India we have 15 lakhs graduates are passing out every year, right? How are you going to differentiate yourself from others in the basically in the competition, right? So that is what your resume is all about. Okay? How are you going to differentiate? How do you know the recruiter that you have something special? How to create an impression on somebody before even they see you, right? Okay, before even the interviewer is going to call you, okay, person X or person Y, right? Okay, they are going to have a look into your resume, right? How are you can create an impression on them before even they see you, right? So that's what is resume is all about. So you need to spend a lot of time in building that. Okay? So that's why they call it as a we don't use the word called resume writing. We say resume building, right? As you can see the Lego box, Lego building set or whatever we play in our childhood. You need to build it, right? You need to build it on a continuous basis and make it better, right? So you need to write it impressive. That's what we called out, right? And just a question, right? Can you just tell me, suppose you all send a resume to me and then say, sir, shortlist my resume. Okay? How much time the recruiter is going to spend approximately to shortlist your resume? How much time do you think he will spend per resume? Can you get some answers? 1 minute, okay. 10 seconds, very good. 30 seconds, very good. Okay, 30 seconds, yes. Okay, I would say 30 seconds or maximum 1 minute. I would say, yeah, less than 1 minute would be a right, more closer answer. What Harsha is telling, right? Okay, 1 minute is a big time, I would say. Okay, 45 minutes are no. Okay, per resume, if they spend 30 seconds, right? That itself is a big thing. Imagine within 30 seconds, you need to make an impression about yourself with the recruiter. Like it's something like how an advertisement come in the TV or any other media, right? Within those 20 seconds or 30 seconds, how you can do that? That's your goal, right? If you write the same boring stuff, I know Windows XP, I know Notepad, or I know I done this, I attended this tech fest, it's not going to impress the interviewer, right? So you need to write something different there. It should reflect your uniqueness. What are the building blocks? It should have the header, skill set, projects, previous experience, or any other parameters, right? This should be in a good enough sections for that. Okay. So I'll just quickly walk through your template. Many of you have questions on that. So we have basically created this template based on our experience so far, right? Each field has got a specific meaning, and if you are not finding meaningful, you can remove that. Whether already I told you, if you are not finding, basically interesting enough, you can remove that particular section. You can please feel free to edit this resume. You can delete anything, add anything. Please do that. Okay. Ensure that important part I wanted to send here is please spend time. Okay. Many of us fill the resume just like how we are preparing for the exam, right? Only the previous day night we sit and slog. That should not be the case. Spend some time with a very clear mind. As I told you, you have all the time in the world now. You can spend quality time, then you can build it. Okay. Keep it updated as you are adding more skills into it. Finally, your resume is your brand, right? Okay. Assuming that you are Tata or you are a Maggie or you are a Flipkart, right? How careful you will be doing that, right? Okay. That much amount of effort need to be put in that. Okay. So with that background, let me pause here and then I will open up the template and walk through that. So in the interest of time, I have both the templates with me for the the IoT template also and also the embedded template. I will walk through the embedded template and it will be similar. I will also point to the links where you can download these templates. Okay. So let me just open the template. Okay, I hope all of you are able to see. Okay. So if you look at this template, right, it is first of all, it's very clear cut. Okay, there's no major confusions here. We have put an Emergy logo here, right? You can very well remove it if you want. We don't mind. Okay, so you can write a career objective here. As I told you, maximum 1 or 2 lines, right? We put this work experience for our students. We share the same template, right? You can say advanced embedded system course in Emergy. We mentioned that. And our course is NSDC affiliated. We also ask them to fill in here, right? And mention any previous internship work experience, if any. If it is a 6 months or so, you can fill it here. Okay. And if you don't have any of these, you can remove this section. Okay, that's the same thing, right? Now come to the most important part of technical skills. Okay, just look at this section, guys. Okay, when you have skills, how impressive your resume looks for an embedded profile, right? We discussed about yesterday the skill metrics, right? The T model, and I mentioned, right, how the skill set should be, right? So first section talks about programming languages. Look at this. You know shell scripting, C programming, C++, data structures. If you know Python, you can add it also, right? Okay. Similarly, somebody mentioned about Linux. Again, Linux is a vast topic. At least we would like to divide into three pieces. One is the Linux commands and the shell scripting part of it. And then second thing is about the Linux system programming, where you learn about the Linux kernel and related areas. And then the third one is embedded Linux, right? Okay. So the Linux system you already mentioned in form of the shell scripting, right? Then this system programming is where you call out your Linux internal programming. That is the second piece which I mentioned. And third one is about embedded Linux, right? This is how you mentioned. Finally, you would have worked on a controller. I'm sure if not for embedded Linux, all of you would have worked about worked in any one controller, be it Arduino or PIC or Atmel or ARM, anything, right? At least you can write like this. I think some of you even told about protocols. Definitely, you need to mention about protocols, especially the UART, SPI, I2C. Some of them will even work on protocols like CAN, right? It is very important that you need to mention these communication protocols, because these protocols are extensively used. For example, CAN, it is extensively used in your automotive domain, right? For example, aspects like interrupt handling, right? It is extensively used in any IoT or any IoT or embedded system design, right? So very important that you mention that. Okay. Qt programming, which it's there in our course, I just showcased for here, right? And we talked about the hardware, the platforms which you've been using, the boards which you are aware, right? You use the Linux, any specific flavor of Linux you are aware, any boards you would have used, BeagleBone, PIC or anything, right? And finally, the software aspects, the compilers and tools, right? Okay. So please note, if you look at this skill set, right? Okay, if you represent it like this, definitely it will be impressive for an embedded position that you are going to apply for. Again, here, if you are not confident in something, you can remove that. You can add anything if you are confident about, right? Okay. And third important thing you need to be considering is something called your coursework. Okay, because a good number of companies will even check how well you are good in your fundamentals, especially your electrical or EC core subject which you study. I would suggest you can put 3 subjects here, okay, 2 to 3 subjects, okay, and those subjects should be relevant to your embedded system. Don't write mathematics 1, mathematics 2, or you studied about some mechanical engineering. Don't put that. If you see here, I mentioned something which is relevant: microprocessor, digital electronics, and digital signal processing, right? You can mention these subjects, or something which is related to embedded systems on IoT, you can mention that, right? And here also the same thumb rule applies. If you're not confident, please don't mention. Okay, you can even mention only one subject, then that's fine with me, right? Okay, but don't copy paste your whole university syllabus here. Okay, that is of no use, right? Whatever you are confident, please mention. It will make a lot of impression for the interviewer, right? And again, the personal attributes, some examples are given here, you can check. Okay, education, I explained how you need to mention. And very important thing, as I told you, you need to be very accurate with your percentage. And when you started the course and when you entered this particular course, right, you need to be very clear cut. If you don't mention, the interviewer might think that you are not transparent enough, right? Okay. And coming to the contributions and achievements, right? Okay, look at these examples, right? These examples I have taken from some of our student resumes and I put that. Okay, I just want to read out. Spend few minutes here, right? Look at this guy, right? The chairman of IEEE Association in the college for a year, received a best student enterprise award for the project work they done. Look at that, right? He's not bought a project from the shop, right? He's done a project for which somebody awarded $1,500, right? Received best outgoing student award, right? First place in paper presentation, received a star award in his job or something like that, right? So if something which you can call out like this, right, then you can mention. Apart from this, right, okay, you don't need to mention. If you don't write whatever we discussed, right, how not to write, right? Okay, same thing goes to your implant trainings also, right? Actually, this also I would say, if you are in fact, you can remove this also. I would say, implant training in IT and all, I think this is also not required. Personal interest, like hobbies, you can call out, right? If anything very, very, very specific. Okay. So this This is how it should look like, right? Your contribution, personal interest, certification, in-plant trainings are not at all important. The most important part is the skills, right? Now comes to the most important section of how do I represent my project, right? First of all, categorize the project. Look at this example, right? Okay, let me move on to the project section now. Okay, when it comes to the projects, you need to be very clear at one part, right? One is the project title itself. As I told you, majority of the project title looks very, vague, very hi-fi, and even the interviewer may not understand. Okay, if you come and tell me your final project topic, I may not understand. But what I would be interested in is in that project, what you have done and what are your learnings, or what are your mistakes you have done in the project and how you have learned from those mistakes, right? So that is the key thing. So if you look at here, right, I would say put a project title and project brief, right? What is your project is all about? Write about at least 4 to 5 lines, right? And very important thing you see here, there's a last 2 section called technologies used and key challenges and learnings, right? So what technologies you use there in that project, right? Whether suppose I say embedded C, what do you use there? I use file operations, pointers, bitwise operations. So by mentioning like this only, you are indirectly telling the interviewer that you know this, right? You not purchased this project, or you not, copy pasted from your friend. You really know what you are mentioning, right? So please ensure that you do that. And in the last section, key challenges and learnings, please ensure you call out all the basically the challenges that you have faced in the project, okay, so that the interviewer will know that really you have worked towards it, right? So you can categorize the project into many, right? You can categorize them into hobby project, your work experience project, your internship projects, or your academic projects, right, etc., etc. So I've given some templates here. You can make use of it. Okay. If you see that here in this template, there is no personal information section at all, right? Maybe you can, in the top, you can mention your email ID and phone number. That should be more than enough, right? Okay, you don't need to write whatever the data that we have requested for. Okay, so that's it, guys, right? You don't need to drag too much about your personal or anything that is do that, right? Okay, please ensure if you mention like this is more than enough, right? So Vishnu says send the sample resume. Sure, Vishnu, I'll send out the links via the same email and even the WhatsApp part of it. Okay, you will get it. Don't worry. I'll send the links from where you can download that. Okay. So I hope you got some idea. Okay. So now let me go ahead and showcase some of the things, like basically what are all the do's and don'ts when it comes to resume. I think then we can move on to the quiz, right? So what are the do's and don'ts in a resume? Spend time in building it, as I already told. Don't rush. Okay. So Jayant says, sir, can I write I'm the topper of the college? Of course, yes, Jayant, that's a great achievement and congratulations to you. Okay, you can write it. Okay, project yourself properly. That's important. Don't over project, don't under project. The template, if you fill it up, that should give you a right projection about yourself. Okay. Bring out differentiation factors. We have discussed in detail how different you are from each other, right? Okay. Highlight skills, project and contributions, what you've done in the project, not about the project itself. Optimal size, right? People ask me, sir, how many pages I should write? I should say maximum 4 pages, right? Don't go beyond that. If you can represent even 2 to 3 pages with real technical content or your skills and project in it, that should be more than enough, right? Convey passion and interest for embedded domain, that you should call out in terms of writing your skill set in the right way. Okay, very important thing, format the resume very neatly. I see students having different fonts, right, or different font sizes. The resume, and there is no good spacing between one line to another line. There is also spelling mistake, etc. Please avoid that. Okay, if you have spelling mistake in your resume, think that you will be rejected immediately. Okay, if you cannot write a resume without spelling mistake, how are you going to execute a project in a company tomorrow, right? So these things company pay very good attention. Okay. Call out continuity in case of issues. Be ready with honest information. Since there are a lot of questions about I'm an older batch pass out, or there can be scenario where after BTech you tried for something, it didn't work out, you took an year break and then joined back to your MTech, or even after MTech also you might not have got job, you tried your public service or you tried your GATE exam, etc., whatever it is, right? Please be very clear with the information. When they ask in the interview, you don't need to tell anything that is incorrect, right? You don't need to tell any general stories. Like many times I see, sir, personal problem, etc., etc. Right? Okay. So that's the kind of scenario, right? You can call out and be honest with the information, right? Be accurate with the data in terms of your year of pass out, percentage, CGPA. Don't approximate that. Okay. Invite the interviewer into your zone. I think I'll skip this point. I typically cover for the interview facing workshop, right? Like yourself, right? It's your brand document. You should be liking it, and you should be really proud of what you have done, and then only you can go ahead and represent yourself well. What are the don'ts, right? A spelling mistake, formatting errors, strictly no. Okay. Improper naming, right? Even when you're writing your file name, you can just mention resume underscore, let us say Amit, a resume underscore, let us say Anita, right? You can mention it properly. I see even the resume names are mentioned in a very cryptic way. Okay, people will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ... right? Don't do that, right? Give a proper name to your resume file also. Okay. Don't clutter, format it well. Okay. Don't give ambiguous email IDs. Don't give 3 phone numbers there, right? One Jio, one Vodafone, etc. Right? Hobbies and all. So give a proper information what you may require. Okay. Don't call out things like MS Word. Strictly not okay. Right? Don't hide your era pass out. Okay. Fake experience projects. This is again a debatable part, right? People will say, sir, I somehow have some fake experience. That company is ready to give me some experience letter, etc. As a mentoring team in Immersive, we don't encourage our students to use any fake experience, right? Because it might give you a short-term benefit. You might be even get lucky and get convinced an interviewer and get into a job. But later it may come and bite you big time. Okay, I personally know many people who put some fake experience and got into even big companies. But later, even 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, when they do a reference check, there is a highly likely that you may get caught. And as times are progressing, these background checks are getting more and more stringent, right? There is very less chance that you may be able to escape this. So please don't put any fake experience or any fake projects. Okay. Bruti is asking for family details. No need, Bruti. Okay, you can mention it at the time of your employment form. Okay. Copy paste from friend and colleague, strictly not okay. As I told, it is your brand document, right? Flipkart cannot copy from Amazon, right? Or let us say Maggie should not be copying from Top Ramen, right? Even though you're all friends, you are all studying in the same college, many of you will be from belonging to the same hometown or neighbors, right? Please note, when you're going for the job market, you are going to compete against each other, right? So please don't copy paste. The company will see you differently only, okay? Okay. That please ensure that you are, able to keep it updated with the additional skills and this thing, right? Okay. Don't make it too long or don't make it too short. Okay. Don't make it too long and not able to justify each and every point in resume, right? I already clarified this. Whatever you mention it correctly and you will be able to justify. Okay. I think as long as you are able to take care of these parts, it should be good enough, right? Okay. So let me take some questions here. I see some questions coming in the window. Okay. Sir, can you please guide how to mail resume to recruiters, Bharani? So see, you don't need to work too much about writing a cover letter and writing, some very impressive English, right? How a Shashi Tharoor writes or talks, right? You don't need to worry. Just say one liner. Please find attached resume with this email. Okay. Please consider and let me know. That is good enough. Okay. Because this concept of covering letter, this concept of introduction letter and all those things, these are all Jamana old concept, right? Today, companies are looking for only two things. Let me repeat: your technical skills, and you are able to prove the technical skills by showcasing some projects. That's it. Okay. So do not get into too much about all this covering letter business. Just get rid of it. See to it that how you can build, increase your skill and build some projects. That would be my answer. Okay. Sir, what about the communication on yesterday's question? Okay, Kuldeep, give me a minute. I'll explain that. Okay. What is the difference between cover letter and resume? Sarada, just ignore the concept of cover letter. Okay. We are only going to write this one. Okay. Don't worry about this. Can internship be mentioned? Shabas is asking. Yes, Shabas, if it is a significant internship, right? For example, don't write your BSNL internship. That is not internship. You just went for one week and did some time pass and came. If at all you are done, or if you've done 1 or 2 months, some seriously you went into some company, learned something, definitely you can mention. Okay, think from the perspective of a recruiter. Okay, not just to fill some pages, right? Harsha is asking, can we say any organization? Can we say any organization in any academics programs? I didn't understand the question, Harsha. Can you be a little bit more detailed so that I can answer it better? Okay. There is one important part here, which about the communication. Maybe I spend few minutes before we close, right? Basically, there's a question. Yesterday we discussed about this one, right? Okay, yeah. Conducting or organizing. Yeah, you can mention that, Harsha. Conducting or organizing any events in your college, you can mention that, but not a big deal. Okay. If you've done something great, you can mention. Otherwise, it should be okay. So one important thing that people tend to ask, there's a question from Kuldeep, right? Okay, let me spend few minutes and explain this. Okay, about the communication skills, right? Okay, so often we give too much of importance to this communication. Okay, let me write it here. Okay, it's worth spending few minutes because it's very critical thing that runs in everybody's mind. So similar to this, what I say, this line follower robot. Okay, which has been happening from the Tipu Sultan time before even the Britishers came. Similarly, there is one more workshop happens in the college called spoken English. Okay, this is again probably Tipu Sultan time workshop, right? Typically, one English tutor will come. He will explain how to talk, how you need to keep your body language, etc., right? Okay. If you see, many of us, okay, say spoken English, okay, is what we believe that 2 days or 3 days of workshop will make me an excellent communicator, right? Okay. So please note this is not true. Okay. So then, and sometimes, many times, I get questions from my students saying that, sir, my English is not very good. Okay, I'm not an excellent communicator. Okay. Okay, basically, for example, my English is not that great. Okay, will it affect my placement or will it come as a big problem in my interview? Okay, the answer is no. Okay, so please note what type of a job you're applying, right? You are applying for an embedded or an IoT engineer job. Okay. Okay. So which is nothing but, as we have been talking from yesterday, which is technical in nature. It is a purely a technical job, right? Please note what are our idea of English, right? For example, I'm not talking about people like Arnab Goswami or Pranay Rai or Rajdeep Sardesai, right? Or Barka Dutt, any TV anchors that we think, right? Okay, we tend to think that is communication. Okay, please note that is not required. That is required for a journalist job, right? Who need to talk. What is their job? Their job is to talk 24 hours, right? So tomorrow you have been recruited in a company, you are not asked to talk 24 hours, right? You are supposed to do your real core work, which you have been assigned to do, right? So what I would say is, in my opinion, right, communication for an engineer, okay, for you guys, okay, is nothing but, in a very simple way, communication is nothing but your confidence. Okay. How confident you are, that's what I've been talking from yesterday, and even I talked about today in the technical skills, is how confident you are with respect to your technical skills and your projects. And confidence will come when you get hands-on, when you practically learn things and build projects. When you're building projects, you make mistakes, and from those mistakes you learn. When you do these things, your confidence will naturally go up. And once you're confident about this, okay, I would say express yourself in simple English. Okay, you don't need to build anything, right? You need to explain it in such a way that, okay, the opposite person can understand, right? Now, for example, I am talking, right? You wait, right? What is my goal? I may not be talking like Arnab Goswami, or I may not be a great orator like, let's say, Rajdeep Sardesai, who talks like, such a main main anchor type of role, right? What I'm trying to do sitting in my home, I am putting a sincere attempt, using my own way of English to communicate some information that you people understand, right? What is the purpose of communication? The opposite person should understand. It is as simple as that. In fact, the person who will be interviewing also is not Rajdeep Sardesai, no? Okay, the person who is technically better than you is having more experience, right? So express yourself in simple English, okay, to make the interviewer understand. In a very simple English, I'm sure all of you are smart enough to understand that. All of you are smart enough to speak that much English, I'll tell you. So please come out of this myth of the fact that, oh, I need to go and take some English coaching, or my pronunciation is not good. Suppose I am talking, right? Okay, as I am speaking, whatever my mother tongue's influence in my English, it will be there. Can I go and remove it, right? I cannot go and learn an American English overnight, right? Whatever I am, whatever I am. But what is my goal? Whatever I am communicating, the people in this particular webinar, are you understanding or not? That's my goal. As long as I do that, I would say all of us will become very successful, guys. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, please come out of this again, this spoken English business, right? Okay. So, okay, other parts, Saujanya is telling some things are why so many hardware companies are not giving importance to girls. Okay, I don't know, Saujanya. I don't think any kind of gender-based thing happening that some jobs are only for girls or some jobs are only for boys, right? I don't see any companies are today differentiating some student or other based on gender. Okay, it is a totally a myth or a perception that you have. I would request please come out of that and focus on your skills and projects, and things will become better for you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, some jobs which will require a lot of travel and all, they may prefer guys, but that also girls are traveling well. I know a lot of students, my students are traveling and doing very good. Okay, percentage required for joining this course, Vishnu. Again, the query should be sent to my colleague Smita. She will clarify your year of passout percentage, etc. Okay. So from where the word resume comes from and why it is called a resume? Ajivali, okay, please Google and find out. Okay, there's a lot of history. What is a resume? What is a CV? What is a job application form, etc. Right? Probably I would leave it to you to self-study that. Okay. So will you provide all skills which are mentioned in resume? Yes, Sanket. The skills which I shown you, all the skills which are represented in the resume, you'll be learning in our embedded system course. I also have another template for our IoT course where the skills are slightly different, where you'll not only learn about the embedded system programming, you'll also learn about certain aspects about IoT cloud platforms and dashboards, etc. So you'll have a little bit more exposure in our IoT course. Okay, voice is not audible, Saranya, maybe network issue. Okay, so that's it, guys. I have for you. Any other questions I can take before we move on to the quiz? Am I audible? Hello, are you able to hear me? Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. So I will go ahead and open up for the quiz now. Same thing. This will be Google Sheet. I will keep it open for some time till the afternoon. Yesterday, I think I kept it open for till I think 3 o'clock or something, right? I do this, sir. We need yesterday's quiz answers. Okay. Okay. That's this one. Okay. I'll try to send answers also. Okay. So let me copy paste that quiz link. Today's quiz will be based on the resume, whatever we discussed today. Okay, you can answer it. And tomorrow, the workshop, I will not be coming. I have my colleague Mubin or Adil, they're even thinking to come together. They'll be doing that. But I'll ensure that I will share the information to them, or if possible, I will come maybe for 5 minutes or so, just announce the winners and then I'll move on. Okay, so that could be the plan. Okay. Send some link. I already shared you, Saurabh. Okay. Yeah, next working day is Monday. That's correct. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. Yeah, Monday you will have the results announced in your workshop. Okay, I will try to come for 5 minutes, or I'll have my colleagues announce it. Okay. So here is the quiz link, guys. Okay. I hope all of you are getting it. So please click it and answer it by another hour or two. I'll keep it open. Okay. Are you able to access the quiz now? Hope you're able to see in the window. Okay. Kishan says yes. Send some link required to improve our embedded skill. Yeah, Sanket, it's already there in our technical resource library, right? Let me again, otherwise today I'll try to show you guys. Yesterday the browser was hanging, and let me just show you guys today. You can So you can go to Emergy website, our website. You can just click on the top course materials. Okay, you can see here technical resource library will open up. Here you'll find all the materials. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm showing you now, Akshay. Okay, so these links will give you enough content about C, data structures, microcontrollers. You see a lot of links given here, materials, sample code. Okay, Linux. You can start with Linux and C, I would say. Okay, because Linux internals, data structures, microcontrollers will require some more time from you. Okay, but at least the Linux Bash shell and C programming you can start with. Okay. Then you have put a lot of things, even the templates, what I am showing, it is here. Okay. You can come to the Disha. I will add some more links today. Okay. I'll instead of sample quiz, I'll come up with a new section called webinar and I put all the information there. Okay. And some blog links also. You just come here and download. Everything is clickable here. If you just go to course materials, let us say C programming, it'll again open up a page and you will see a lot of, let us say this, PPT, right? You can download it itself. If you see here, there are roughly about 424 slides are there. You can download that. Okay. So please go through this. Let me just copy paste the resume link also here. Okay. So this link has got everything. But I will, whatever the material that I shared yesterday and today, the slides, the templates, everything. Anyways, I'll ensure that it reaches you via email and also via WhatsApp. You can download those templates and you can, make use of it. Okay. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. So I would like to thank all of you for patiently listening. Okay. So some feedback in the window? How did you find today's session? Was it helpful to you? Were you able to learn? Emma says thanks. Okay. Kishan says thank you. Okay. Akshay, thanks. Great, sir. Okay. Thank you. Yes, she's telling. Satya Prakasha, thank you, sir. He's telling. Thanks, guys. Okay. Your feedbacks are welcome. Anyways, quiz, you can take it up and I will announce the winner. Yeah. Thanks, Vruti. Good to see you found it useful. Rohit is here. Thanks, Rohit. Thanks, Ajay. Priya is saying thank you. Okay. Waiting for Monday. Sure. Okay. Thanks for shaping our view. Sure. Thanks, Ramya. Okay. So didn't provide the answers for yesterday's quiz. I think I will send it out. The answers via some mail itself, Bhavya. I think I'm running out of time. Hema says very good, useful. Yeah, thanks, Hema Sundar. Quiz link once again, please. Okay, here is the sorry. And that is the resource link. Let me share the quiz link. Yeah, here is the quiz link. It's a Google form again. All right, guys. Thanks, all of you. Okay. Have a great day. Take care. Stay safe. I guess most of the states are extending the ban till 30th. So I don't see we coming out of home anytime soon. So stay safe. Don't do any exciting stuff. But all you want to do, spend time in preparing whatever the materials I shared. Any queries? Anyways, I already shared the mail ID and phone number. You can email, WhatsApp. It will ensure that it reaches me and then it will come back to you. Answers also will provide. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.